And anything you wouldn't want to put in your mouth, just take it off and hand it over. So,
I might die. What's... Oh no, I don't know.
what's that? Are you happy with?
Cool.
Okay.
Ready? You would like to blindfold yourselves.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to lead you in one by one.
Almost 250,000 tonnes of global warming gases released were attributable to imports of food products, the equivalent amount of pollution produced by more than 40,000 vehicles on the road or nearly 2 power plants. Approximately 950 cases of asthma, over 16,000 missed school days, 43 hospital admissions and 37 premature deaths could be attributed to the worsened air quality from food imports.
Meat from the left leg of the pig is tender and therefore more preferable than the meat from the right leg. This is because pigs scratch themselves with their right hoof, thus strengthening the muscles and making the meat tougher.
Health regulations on peanut butter allow for up to 30 insect fragments and 1 rodent hair per 100 grams.
Laying hens are kept in battery cages, which are small wire cages where about 95% of laying hens spend their entire lives. Each hen is given about 67 to 76 square inches of space, smaller than a sheet of A4 paper. This is equivalent to 4 humans spending their lives sharing a cage the size of a bathtub. Chickens are unable to move, so their muscles and bones deteriorate and their feet become lacerated.
Pesticides used in the growing of produce such as radishes can also harm unintended targets such as people, wildlife and in general the environment. They have been associated with the claims of many different health problems, from cancer and infertility to eye abnormalities. In many cases, there is scientific evidence to back up such concerns.
In the case of no other animal is so large a portion of the dead carcass utilised as meat as with pig.
In the US, each chocolate bar contains 8 insect fragments on average.
Almost all processed yogurt contains high fructose corn syrup. The goal of the corn industry is to call into question any claim of harm from consuming high fructose corn syrup and to confuse and deflect by calling their product natural corn sugar. That's like calling tobacco and cigarettes a natural herbal medicine.
Well over 100 viruses are brought from China to the US yearly through pigs.
Peanuts can be used to make dynamite. The oil can be used to make glycerol, which is then transformed into nitroglycerin.
An eggshell may have as many as 17,000 pores over its surface. Through them, the egg can absorb all flavours and odours.
Tesco Value ham contains 11 calories per slice, 0.5 grams of fat, no cholesterol, sodium, potassium, no carbs, fibre, sugars or protein. It has 0% vitamin A and C, 0% calcium and 0% iron.
The FDA allows canned pineapple to contain up to 20% mouldy fruit.
Traditional ham making involves soaking in brine or dry curing legs of pork by covering them with salt and saltpetre and then hanging them for several weeks. A premium supermarket ham can be cooked in just 72 hours using industrialised production processes.
Grapefruits are sprayed with wax during packing to make them shine.
Fructose goes right to the liver and triggers lipogenesis, the production of fats like triglycerides and cholesterol. This is why it is the major cause of liver damage in the US and causes a condition called fatty liver, which affects 70 million people.
Gelatine can be found in some low-fat yogurts and is made from pork skins, pork and cattle bones, or split cattle hides. They are then boiled to release collagen.
9 years ago, a voluntary agreement called the Harkin-Engel Protocol was signed by the cocoa and chocolate industry. This was part of a voluntary commitment to end all worst forms of child labour, including the trafficking of children and forced adult labour in the cocoa production in Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana by the end of 2005. A 4.5-year project followed this up and found that it is estimated that more than 1.8 million children in West Africa remain in the farming of cocoa, most of whom were trafficked.
Please slide your blindfold off your eyes and leave it resting on your forehead. Now consume what you see fit. When you are done, slide your blindfold back over your eyes. You have 1 minute.
If you have not done so already, please place your blindfold back over your eyes. Your time to consume has finished.
For the next course, you will have the chance to taste each ingredient individually. You will feel a utensil shortly touch your lips. If you wish to taste it, open your mouth. This will happen several times. This next instruction is very important, so listen carefully.
Do not chew or swallow until instructed.
I just adore avocados, and nothing makes me happier than a big, colourful bowl of guacamole. This traditional Mexican dip is usually served pureed, but I like my guacamole chunky. Easy, fun, and healthy. Here it is, my guacamole. Now, you'll need an avocado. Slice them in half all the way around, lengthways, then twist the halves to separate them from the stone. Pull the stone out, and then hold one half of the avocado in your palm and scoop the soft green flesh out with a teaspoon into a bowl. After the avocado, a tomato. Cut it up into bite-sized chunks and dump it in the bowl. Don't worry about dicing it perfectly. It doesn't matter when things are differently sized. This is guacamole, after all. Now, some garlic. I find the easiest way of removing the skin is to just bash on the clove a bit with the side of my knife, pressing the blade down with my hand. Chop it up and add it to the bowl. One shallot is next on the agenda. Slice off the root and then cut the small sweet onion in half. Remove the skin and then chop it into relatively small pieces. Sprinkle over the ingredients in the bowl. Next, some coriander and chilli. Now, if you're a little delicate and can't really take the heat, you can leave the chilli out. This dish is about pleasure, not pain. Chop up some of the coriander leaves and, if you're using it, slice the chilli into little discs and add them to the bowl. For a tangy sweet flourish, cut one lime in half and squeeze the halves over the bowl so the juice trickles over all of the ingredients. Watch out for the seeds. Lastly, add some salt and pepper, then a little more pepper. Now, here comes the fun part. Grab a fork, grab the bowl. Now, just mush and mix everything up, as much and as long as you feel necessary. This dish is something I selfishly enjoy, and I think you will too. If you've managed to fight the urge to just eat it with the spoon, might I suggest some cheesy toasted pita strips to help you get guacamole?
Please commence chewing. You may swallow if you wish. Raise your hand when you've finished.